Welcome back to my channel Knowledge Chronicle.
Today, we're diving into one of the most jaw-dropping scientific discoveries of our time. A discovery that uncovers the unimaginable complexity hidden inside the human brain. Now, I want you to imagine something really small. Something the size of half a grain of rice. Tiny, right? But inside that minuscule piece of brain tissue lies a universe as complex as an entire city. Maybe even like a mini galaxy. And this isn't science fiction, it's real. Scientists from Harvard University and Google Research have mapped just 1 cubic millimeter of human brain tissue, and what they found is nothing short of astonishing. So what exactly did they see inside this speck of brain? Inside that small piece, researchers discovered 57,000 cells. Out of these, many were neurons, the specialized cells that transmit signals and carry messages across the brain and body. Along with neurons, they found glial cells, which act like the brain's support staff. Glial cells don't carry signals like neurons, but they are equally important. They protect neurons, provide nutrients, clean up waste, and even help maintain the right environment for electrical signals. Fun fact: in this sample, glial cells actually outnumber neurons 2 to 1. So, while neurons get all the fame, glial cells are the silent heroes working in the background. Now, here's where it gets mind-blowing. This single cubic millimeter contained about 150 million synapses. But wait, what are synapses? Think of neurons as people making phone calls. A synapse is like the connection line that allows one person to call another. Without synapses, neurons can't talk. Now imagine 150 million phone lines jam-packed inside something smaller than a pinhead. That's how dense the communication inside our brains is. It's like a mega city, where every building is connected by millions of roads, constantly buzzing with traffic. And that's not all. Running through this tiny piece of brain, researchers found 23 centimeters of blood vessels. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly 1/4 meter of blood vessels, all tightly packed inside a dot-sized brain fragment. Why are these blood vessels so important? Because neurons are like high-performance machines. They consume a huge amount of energy. In fact, the human brain makes up only about 2% of our body weight, but it uses 20% of our body's energy. These vessels are the pipelines delivering oxygen and glucose, the fuel that keeps the brain running. Without them, even the most advanced brain cells would die within minutes. Now, you must be wondering, how did scientists even map something this tiny in such detail? The team used advanced electron microscopes that can zoom in at the nanometer scale. That's a millionth of a millimeter. To give you an idea, if a human hair is like the width of a football field, these microscopes can see details as small as a single blade of grass. They had to slice the brain tissue into over 5,000 layers, each thinner than a strand of hair. Imagine cutting a book into 5,000 pages so thin you can barely see them, then scanning each page and reassembling them into a 3-dimensional model. That's exactly what they did. But scanning wasn't enough. To make sense of all this data, they used Google's powerful artificial intelligence to stitch these slices into a full 3-dimensional digital map. The result? A data set so massive it needed 1.4 petabytes of storage. To put that into perspective, that's more than what 300,000 full-length movies would take. It's kind of like carrying the world's largest library in just one speck of brain. Now here comes the really fascinating part. While mapping, scientists didn't just confirm what they already knew. They discovered bizarre structures never seen before. They found neurons mirroring each other, almost like two dancers copying each other's moves in perfect symmetry. They noticed tangled loops of axons, tiny fibers that looked like roundabouts or traffic circles inside the brain. These might be ways the brain reroutes signals. Most connections were simple, one axon to one partner. But, a few were pretty extreme. Some axons actually formed over 50 synapses, with a single neuron partner. This might hold clues to how deep memories or unconscious habits are stored. It's like discovering secret highways and hidden shortcuts inside a city we thought we already knew. Now you might ask, why does this matter? Because this map isn't just a cool picture. It's a window into the hidden logic of the brain. By studying it, scientists can, understand how memories are stored. They can also decode how diseases like Alzheimer's, epilepsy, or schizophrenia affect brain circuits. Even design better AI systems that mimic the brain's natural networks. Professor Jeff Lichtman of Harvard, who led the project, called it one of the most challenging scientific efforts ever attempted. And now, the data is publicly available, so neuroscientists worldwide can explore it. Of course, this was just 1 cubic millimeter. Mapping an entire human brain like this would be impossible right now. It would take thousands of petabytes of data. But scientists are already working on scanning an entire mouse brain at this level. That's the next step. It's like exploring one tiny pixel of a huge image. Step by step, we'll piece together the whole picture. Think about it. Inside a piece of brain tissue smaller than a grain of rice lies an entire world. There are 57,000 cells, 150 million synapses, and 23 centimeters of blood vessels. And there are hidden structures we've never seen before. It's a reminder that the human brain is the most powerful supercomputer in the universe. Yet, honestly, we've only just started to understand it. So next time you feel your brain is overloaded, remember, even in the tiniest corner of it, there's a universe of mysteries waiting to be discovered. That's all for today's deep dive into the mysteries of the human brain. If you found this as fascinating as I did, don't forget, your one like, share, and subscribe will help us create more valuable content. See you in the next video.